me a little bit about yourself and about how you came to be the principal of the school. Or maybe not principal's not the right word.
Director. So the preschool director. So I always did office work. Being a preschool teacher and director was something that I never envisioned, never thought that I would do in my life. My children all went to a Christian preschool, and we were very involved in that church and that school. And through that, I was served on the board. We were involved in the preschool in a lot of different ways. And then I quit my job to raise 3 children. And through that, the director of that church and preschool would ask me to just help out once in a while. And that developed into being an aide a few days a week. And that developed into teaching a class, which was a gift. I always say that preschool director gave me the gift of finding what I love. So teaching a 4-year-old classroom is what I truly love. And then several years later, we were worshiping at another church, and my husband and the pastor had a meeting, and the pastor said, hey, would you maybe think about putting together a team of people to see if we would have a preschool at our own church? Of course we would, with no intention of ever being the director. That was definitely not in my plan. And so we did. There was a team, very, very dedicated team of people that worked very hard to put that preschool together. And I wound up being the director, which again was not my plan, but that's just the way things happened. So I was at that church as the director of that preschool for almost 4 years. And then things changed, as they sometimes do in a church, and we were a part of helping to start Light the Way. And again, I didn't want to be the director, but here we are. And so that's been 6 years later.
Yeah.
No. 8 years.
8 years.
8 years I've been the director of Light the Way.
So would you say that you stretched a little bit and
Every way more. Yes.
Are you stretching right now?
I'm stretching way out of my comfort zone right now.
I understand.
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
So what do parents like most about Light the Way?
What I hear most from the parents that walk in is that there's a feel here of family. So when the teachers are in their classrooms, I can get rid of this because it's ticking.
Okay.
When the teachers are in their classroom, I just tell the teachers, preschool is not an individual sport, it's a team event. And so all of the teachers know almost all of the children already, and we're only 3 or 4 weeks into school. So it's more like a family feel here. Everybody helps everyone else, and that's the way it should be.
Oh, yeah.
And just for the record, when we spoke last time, you mentioned that only being 3 or 4 weeks into the school year, that you follow. Tell us about that.
Our school, preschool, we follow the Marana School District. So if they're closed, we're closed. We follow their schedule exactly. The only difference, we start the day after the Marana schools start. We are closed for Easter, so that Good Friday we're closed. And other than that, we follow the Marana School District schedule.
Okay. Very good.
So
Well,
get that in there.
what do you think that the kids like most about the school?
Once the children get to know the structure, which happens very, very quickly, the routine is always the same. Preschool should be fun every day. We're learning, we're doing the things that we should be learning. It's an academic environment, but things should be done in a fun way. And I think that they come in liking school, excited about coming to school, knowing that they're going to have a good time.
That's great. So, what do you've already pretty much answered this, I think, but what do you love about being the director here?
That's a bad question because I would rather teach than direct.
Okay, so tell us about that.
So being the director, the thing that I enjoy most about it is getting to know the families. And every family that walks through the door has a story. It's not always the same, thank goodness. Every family has different needs, every child has different needs. So getting to know those families, some of the children that come here, we've had 3 or 4 of their siblings, so we've known these families for a really long time. Families that come through the door have most often been referred by other families that have been here. So there's just that sense of community and sense of knowing the people that are here even before their children are enrolled. So that's a really nice thing.
That's a great thing. What has changed a lot with education over the last few years?
On the preschool front, so I've taught preschool for 17 years, and when I first started teaching preschool, it was much more hands-on activities. We would learn much more through play. And now the expectation for children to be academically ready for kindergarten has grown tremendously. And I see the stress that causes on the parents. They're concerned that their children are not ready for kindergarten, which is a little crazy to me. The kindergarten should just be kind of an extension of preschool, but the expectations are definitely a lot higher. And if a child hasn't gone to a structured preschool, sometimes they walk into a kindergarten class unprepared, which again is sad to me, because kindergarten should kind of be the beginning, and that's where it always was. And now preschool really is the beginning. So children that have come to preschool know routine, they know how to listen to the teachers. Something as simple as doing a fire drill. We had our first fire drill this week. So when they go to kindergarten, they know what that means, and they know that they can't talk, and they know what the expectations are. So expectations are definitely a lot higher now.
So I'm sure that the kindergartner teachers are loving you because you've set those routines in place already.
We do get some positive feedback from the kindergarten teachers in the area, and that's a very nice thing.
So, what stereotypes do you think are true about teachers?
I looked at that question and I don't know what to even
Well,
answer about
to me,
that.
I think you can go into a group. Well, like the other day, we were at lunch, and this guy came up to us and said, there was just realtor ladies, and he said, "Well, what school do y'all teach at?"
Oh, that's funny.
You know, because there was all these ladies, and we were together, and I guess we were dressed a certain way or
Right.
something, and so he thought we were all teachers.
Right.
So, you know, it's funny. People can just look at me sometimes and say, "I bet
Oh,
you're a teacher."
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just something about us, I think.
I don't even know. Yeah, like I said, I looked at that question and I don't really know what stereotypes. I don't
And that's
know.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't really have an answer for that one. So,
Oh, so, why do you enjoy serving in this area of town in Marana?
in Marana. So we have lived in Continental Ranch as a family, trying to think, 26 years, 24 years. We moved to the side of town 24 years ago. We've lived in Tucson for a long time. But this feeling of small town, the feeling of community in this area, in Continental Ranch especially, is huge. I love that you can walk into the grocery store and many of the clerks know you by name. I love that you can walk down the street and people will honk and wave. I love that I hear Miss Cathy when I'm, at Fry's or at Walmart, and I can stop and say hello to those families. So there's just a really nice sense of community in this area. As far as the parents in the school setting, the parents are very involved here, and they want to know if their children are doing well, in what ways do they need to help out more at home, behavior issues, any of that. The parents are super involved, and they
great.
really care what's going on with the kids. So it's a good
Really
thing.
good. Real good. So, I was going to ask you too about what are some fun things that you like to do in the neighborhood?
I work a lot of hours. I work a lot of hours.
Or places to go, things to do, places to go. What do you like to do for fun?
What do we like to do for fun? Oh man, I work. Going out for a nice meal. Actually, my husband and I like to walk. And so I love living in an area where there are lots of restaurants that are close enough that we can just walk on a Friday or Saturday evening. And so that's really nice.
That is cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So do you just walk around in the neighborhood, or do you have like particular trails you like to go on? Or
Well, we walk every morning. So we're up at 5 and we do our little 2-mile walk right in the neighborhood every morning. But as far as walking to a restaurant, we'll just pick something close by. It could be a mile away, it could be 2 miles, and off we go.
cool. That's very nice. So what does it mean to shop and to do things locally for you? What's the value in that?
Not having to go far is very nice. Working here is a blessing, but I do put in a fair number of hours. So having everything so conveniently located is really important, and that's very helpful.
That's great. That's great. Okay. So, anything else you would like to add?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
No.
All right. That's great.
See me rolling my eyes. Can I roll my eyes for the camera?
All right. Well, let's take a few pictures together and then